Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a little bit of an SPF sunscreen exploration because we've had two kind of larger profile SPF sunscreen releases very recently, including this new Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow and the Tatcha, the Silk Sunscreen Broad Spectrum. So we're going to talk about both of these, and I'm going to mention, we'll compare the Tatcha with its Tatcha predecessor, talk about what I've been wearing, but I do want you to know that it is not clickbait in the title. First of all, I would never do that. I actually do think that I have, after a long search, found my holy grail sunscreen. We're going to talk about that, but I want you to know I'm so confident in that I am doing this video right now. I'm filming and I'm not wearing any foundation. I am just wearing the sunscreen that I really want to talk about today. Just that. I mean, I have concealer on. Let's not get crazy. But I am not wearing any foundation at all. Just the sunscreen. So let's get talking because we got a lot to cover. So the two new releases. Okay. The two new biggest releases, and this one is sold out on Sephora, so I have it linked below at Sephora and on the Glow Recipe site. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Sunscreen SPF 50. It is $34. And the other new one that I want to talk about is the Tatcha, the Silk Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50 PA++++ with hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. This one has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide too, whereas this one is $34. This one is, I'll give you a moment to make sure you're sitting down, this one is $60, and you don't get a whole lot. Okay, well, anyway, so I want to talk about them and compare them and let you know. Gosh, we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so let's start with this Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Sunscreen from Glow Recipe. The price is right, and like I said, it's sold out already on Sephora. It might be back in, but we'll see. This is a combination of chemical and mineral sunscreen, or what's often called chemical and physical. Mineral and physical are kind of interchangeable. Look, anything that we put on our skin is actually a chemical. Who are we kidding? But just to simplify it, it's often called chemical versus mineral. And the difference is, if you need a primer on this or are interested in it, let me know down below because I can put this in the Beauty Basics series I have started. It would require a much deeper dive. Essentially, a chemical sunscreen takes in the sun's rays and disperses them. Sound effects here, Wonder Woman style. Whereas a physical or mineral is an actual barrier, so the sun hits it and bounces off. And the physical sunscreen are things like, zinc oxide and stuff. They can have a bit of a white cast and a flashback on photos. So a lot of times, especially in foundation or in primers, it will be chemical. It just kind of goes on smoother. A lot of those Supergoop ones, that are so popular, and just kind of the Glossier has one too. Those are chemical. People have their preferences. I prefer physical or mineral. I just kind of like that better, but there's some drawbacks. At any rate, Glow Recipe harnesses the best of both worlds by combining chemical and mineral into one reef-safe combination. That's another thing. What is reef-safe? Apparently, when we go into the water in the ocean, our sunscreen comes off of us and is bad for deterioration of the reefs. It is being questioned whether or not this theory is true. There are a lot of beaches, say in Hawaii, that will not let you in wearing sunscreen unless it is reef safe. They have signs up and things like that. This remains to be seen if that's junk science or not. I don't know. Again, you want a deeper dive in the Beauty Basics, you just let me know below. I have started a Beauty Basics series. Okay, so this one is glowy. You gotta shake it up. It evens up the skin tone, it says. And, they say it boosts your glow, kind of a pretty glow if you want a glowy primer or if you have a no makeup day. It has a definite watermelon scent, not necessarily real watermelon, but candy watermelon scent, and it does dissipate. It's a very pleasant scent, but it does have a scent. Those of you who are averse, get migraines and things like that, it's kind of a candy watermelon scent. So let's shake it up and let me show you what it looks like, and I will show you me wearing it. I'm going to compare this to the Tatcha in two sunlit photos on me from days ago. I've been playing with these for a few days. So let me just show you the way it looks when it goes on. It's kind of got a white cast. Remember, it's chemical and mineral together. And then when it goes on, as you see, and obviously I put too much on, it does, I'm trying to only take 1/2 of my hand. It does kind of have that very kind of candy watermelon scent, like a Jolly Rancher. Do others have Jolly Ranchers, or is that just a United States candy? You can tell me below. And there it is rubbed in. It's very pretty. It is very glowy. I don't know if that's picking it up. Let me actually go to the photo of me wearing nothing on my face but this sunscreen. It's unflattering photo. But there it is, just for you to kind of see how glowy it is. I do not have an oily complexion, so that lets you know about the glow. You got to shake it up, and I will tell you, I wore it 2 days in a row with no other makeup on. And, you know, ran around doing errands, ran around working. And when I would go and look in the mirror, I'm not going to lie, it had kind of whitened here. Do you know when it gets in your eyebrows and you thought it was smooth? And I would have to go, oh dear, and kind of, you know, do this a little bit. And like around the nose, it kind of left some white. Just letting you know. Again, good price. It's selling out. Lovely glowy base. But it wanted to move and settle in little white marked areas on my face. So I did have to kind of smooth it throughout the day. It didn't do that really with makeup over it, but when I wore it alone, it did. Also, it gave a white cast and left it, which is interesting because it's a combo of mineral and chemical. So you think it really wouldn't do that as much. But I looked in the mirror a few times and thought, oh, I look a little gray today. I tried to get a picture of it. It doesn't really show in the picture. It's just that slight bit of grayness. It is a good sunscreen. It's not my favorite by any means, guys. It just isn't. That watermelon smell is gone by now. It's good. It's inexpensive. It's good under makeup. It's glowy. It's sunscreen. My goodness, protect yourself from the sun. It isn't my favorite, though. It really isn't. Let's talk about the Tatcha. Now, yes, this is $60. Goodness help us. This is the one I'm talking about. I am horrible about saving the best for last. This was not clickbait. I actually think this is the best sunscreen I have ever used. Go ahead, snapshot that comment. It's the truth. I am absolutely in love except for the price. That's going to kill me. It's like some sort of a habit and addiction. Skincare drives me crazy because darn it, do you run through it. This would be one, though, to stock up on in the sale. And if people get wind of it, it'll go quickly. So let's talk about it, especially in comparison to the original Tatcha sunscreen, which I have right here. And let me tell you why I think it's the best. Okay, so this sunscreen, first of all, has a bit of a tint to it. And you're going to go, well, that tint won't match my skin. True, true, true. And if you have a very deep skin tone, I would love you to report back how this works for you. I have heard that on many skin tones, it just kind of becomes transparent. If you have a deep, deep skin tone, though, please comment below so that we all know. Okay, this one you have to shake up also. This one is very sheer, and it is all mineral, which I really like. I mean, you know, I don't like the idea of it sucking in the sun's rays and then combating them. I think that just sounds worse than it is. I don't think that really is so scary, but I do prefer an all mineral or all physical sunscreen. That's what this is. This is a smoothing thing. It's meant to be used under makeup. It is very smooth. It just kind of feels, it feels almost like the new Hourglass primer, almost like powdery soft. And it gives a little bit of that, it mattifies, it just makes you look more put together. Again, no lie, I do have concealer and blush on, but I have no foundation on today. All right, so let me show you what this looks like. First of all, look at the packaging. Did you realize it was this skinny? You know, when I saw it on Sephora online, it just shows it like this. But it's actually a skinny little thing, and yet it stands up pretty well. It doesn't fall over. And let me just show you the coloring to it. This is why I saved the other side of my hand here. And there it is. It's very serum-y. See, it's running down my hand. It's very serum-like. And it is all mineral. The scent is a sunscreeny scent. It's a mineral sunscreen. It dissipates, but it has that kind of, I can't explain it. You know what I mean, a sunscreen scent. So let me just show you this. Yeah, there you go, mineral. So you're rubbing it in, and it's going to be that white cast at first, but it doesn't leave you looking gray. It leaves you looking less gray than the Glow recipe, which is half chemical and shouldn't be gray at all, really. Let me show you this one this morning, pardon the bad photo, on my face before any concealer or anything was added. And you see it's a very mattifying, smoothing look to it. And we're going to compare it in just a moment, again, to the Glow Recipe. I have worn this one also for 2 days straight, and it did not build up with the whiteness around here or here or here. You know, how does that in the world does that happen? But it's like when you're running around kind of sweating a little bit, it kind of built, the Glow Recipe kind of built up on the sides of my brows, and this did nothing of the sort. I actually kind of like this as a no makeup makeup. Little bit of concealer, little bit of blush, little bit of mascara. You're on your way. I think it's actually quite beautiful. Let's talk about it versus the original Tatcha. This was the Silk Pore Perfecting Sunscreen, which, believe it or not, it's not like I'm that addicted to all things Tatcha. I was not that impressed by it. I didn't put this one on my face because it is eons old. I have kept it for comparison purposes, but I bet it would break me out if I put it on my face. But the difference is, if you originally have this and think, why would I get this one? This one is 50 PA+++++. Again, we can go into what all those pluses mean in a deeper dive on my beauty basics. Again, comment below for that. This one is SPF 35 with only 3 pluses, PA+++. This is mineral and chemical, kind of like the Glow Recipe one. And this one is all mineral. This one hydrates an even skin tone, and this one is meant to tighten pores. I didn't find that it did. This one is more of a milky liquid, and this one is more of a cream. Let me show you. It's actually in pretty good stead for being fairly old. But let me just kind of show you what the difference is there. See, it's like a cream, whereas this is like almost like a... This one you have to shake up, and it's almost serum-like. This is just information for those of you who have the original Tatcha. So there is the new Tatcha, very different than the original Silken Pore Perfecting Sunscreen. And this one gives a dewy, healthy glow. It does. I think it's a little bit matte and powdery, but it is still very natural. And this one's supposed to be matte and silky smooth. Again, we're not going to put this old thing on my face to try it. I love a good experiment, but good Lord. Okay. And the other one I wanted to give a quick mention to, what I've been surviving on before these two. I have been surviving on the $42 Dr. Dennis Gross. Have you guys heard of this one? This one's also all mineral, lightweight wrinkle defense it's called. And I just really like this one a lot too. It's really nice under makeup. It's pretty traditional mineral SPF. Basically, until this Tatcha came along, I have been accepting sunscreen with its faults because it's better than the alternative, which is your skin just frying in the sun. And in Southern California, it's always hot. I don't know. When I go to Scotland with my husband is Scottish, I put on sunscreen in the morning there, and he looks at me like I'm crazy because it's overcast and rainy, and I'm still like, yeah, but the sun is a big fire orb up there, so I'm still wearing it. But here it's even more necessary where I live every day, right? But I have been using this and accepting the fact that it's a little bit almost oily, and it's a good basic thing. Also $42, also a little bit, you know, at any rate, it's a good one. I wanted to give it a plug. Don't like the original Tatcha. Didn't find anything redeeming about it. So if you had this and don't like it, don't judge the new one by it, please. Okay, now let's talk about, let's go back to our two new ones real quickly. I want to side-by-side you with my face. On one side of the screen, I will label it here, is me wearing the Glow Recipe, half chemical, half mineral combo, Reef Safe. 50 SPF. And on the other side of the screen, we have me wearing just the Tatcha, the Silk Sunscreen, also 50 SPF. Both have skincare ingredients, niacinamide, both have hyaluronic acid. I feel like they don't make anything without putting niacinamide and hyaluronic acid in it anymore. Don't you agree? Seems like those are the ingredients of choice. Why do I go out on a limb and say this is the best sunscreen ever created? It is not bunching up. It is not creating that weird oily sunscreen slick. It is not uncomfortable. It is not itchy. It's beautiful under foundation. It doesn't pill. It is beautiful wearing it alone. Look, just a little bit of concealer. I'm actually wearing this like foundation today. And it's all mineral, which most people do see as a good thing. And it's PA++++, and it's SPF 50. And you can actually put enough of it on. A big complaint about sunscreen, especially when SPF is in foundation, you'd be amazed at how much sunscreen you really need to put on to get the full SPF benefit. Again, let me know in comments. I do think we probably need a deeper dive into SPF face creams on my Beauty Basics series. But this one, you really feel like you can keep putting it on, even reapply. I've already reapplied it once today, just because it had been 2-3 hours. It's just an incredible sunscreen. The only downside on this is the price. It's $60 for, what is it? I don't know, I'll put it up there. Not much product. And if you're me, you use a lot of it, and it'll go fast. So that is the downside of it, and that is a definite downside. I think it might be worth it, as I have just been, I mean, when this one wasn't great, I was like, okay, yeah, none of them are great. I tried this and I was like, this is an amazing product. This is the best sunscreen I have ever tried. It's one of the worst prices, but it's the best sunscreen I've ever tried. It's not itchy, it's not irritating, it is the best sunscreen I've ever tried. Did I mention that? So let me know your thoughts. Did you try either of these? What were your thoughts on the original Tatcha primer? I didn't like it. Have you ever tried this Dennis Gross one? It's good. I thought I would give it a mention. I've been relying on it until these two came out. But I want to know what your thoughts were. This was so popular and sold out so quickly, and I don't know why. I'm not a huge Glow Recipe fan, however, so take that for what it's worth. Talk to me in the comments. I really felt like I was kind of holding out on you guys because I hadn't revealed my love for this new sunscreen. I just think it's incredible. But tell me if you how could you disagree? But if you do, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. We got so much good stuff coming up, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.